Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Ocarina of Time. We're standing right outside the Forest Temple, and that is, of course, our next destination. So let's get to it. So the Forest Temple is the first dungeon we're going to have to take care of as an adult, and being that we've kind of reached the next sort of section of the game, it's not really going to pull any punches. You can really see once we get into it that this part of the game is about where it starts to get a little bit more difficult. So this temple is definitely no pushover, but it's probably one of my favorites. I do like the atmosphere. It kind of has this like mystic, like old ruins sort of feel about it. It's kind of neat. The music is also really fitting, I think. So this is it's a pretty neat place. It is kind of annoying to get through at some places, but overall, it's really not that bad. It's pretty fun. So, first up, we have our first gold Skulltula here. I think there are 4 of them in this dungeon, if I remember correctly. So, let's get that one and head on. You want to make sure to come up here first before you go through the obvious door, because as you can see, there's a chest over here. If we jump across and pick it up, you can see that we pick up a small key, and I believe this is also the first time we found one of these. This key will open a locked door. You can only use it in this dungeon. So yeah, basically now that we're an adult, there's going to be a bunch of locked doors. We're going to have to be picking up small keys in order to open them, so that kind of adds another layer of complexity to the dungeon's layout. We're also going to have to pick up a special key in order to get to the boss layer, so just keep that in mind. As you can see, those big Skulltulas are really easy now that we have the hook shot. One shot will take them out regardless, so that's pretty cool. Alright, this looks kind of interesting. Whoa! Multicolored pose. Hey, that's kind of cool. So yeah, as you can see, they have stolen the flame, and now the elevator here in the middle is going down, and that's pretty much our way forward. So that's what we're going to be spending most of the dungeon trying to take care of, is chasing down those 4 Poes and getting the flames back to these little torches here, so we can go down this elevator. So yeah, it's kind of it kind of reminds me of when we were in Twilight Princess. I know that's been quite a while back, but we were in Arbiter's Grounds, and the same sort of thing kind of happens. I jokingly made a sort of like a you know, oh, I wonder where that came from. I've never seen that before, and there were so many people telling me, oh, it's the Forest Temple from Ocarina of Time. It's like sarcasm, come on. But anyway, as you can see, there was a gold Skulltula on that wall, and we're gonna head on through this door here. There's not really, I mean, I guess there are a couple paths we can take here at the beginning, but this is definitely the most productive way to go. These blue bubbles are really annoying. As you can see, you can shield them to sort of make their blue flame disappear, and then they bounce around like crazy. I'm actually going to bring out the Deku Nuts, because I find that those are useful against those as well. Yeah, I know, another use for the Deku Nuts. Surprising, I guess, but anyway, let's go on. And as we come in here, we're going to encounter another new enemy, which is pretty awesome. This is a Stalfos. Lure it close to you and watch its movement carefully. Attack it when it drops its guard. So yeah, this is probably the deadliest enemy that we've faced so far. As you can see, they keep their shields up pretty much all the time, except when they're attacking you, so you really just have to look for an opening. What I like to do is make sure I'm pretty far away from them, and then just try to block or dodge their attacks, and then get a counter attack in. That's kind of the way I like to do it. If they do a jump attack, then you can usually get to the side of them and then like hit them in the side, because they're very slow to turn back around. Other than that, I like to try to do like a backflip jump attack sort of thing. Sometimes their attacks don't really last long enough for you to get that off, but yeah, as you can see, we definitely need strategy against these guys. Ooh, awesome, there we go. So yeah, that's definitely the toughest enemy that we've faced yet, but we're going to be encountering a few more of them throughout the game, so they are usually reserved for sort of bigger fights. They usually have their own arena, so either way, there's a fairy in the pots over here if you want to pick that up. Might be a good idea. And we can also open the chest here to get another small key, so now we've got 2. So that's pretty much all we can do for this little area here. Now here's showing you kind of how the Deku Nuts are useful. Not only does it drop their flame, but it causes them to be stunned and frozen there, so that makes them really easy to take care of, so you don't have to worry about getting hit while they're bouncing around. Alright, so let's just continue on kind of around the circle here. Again, it feels weird because we don't have the dungeon map, but we should be taking care of that, well, sometime soon at least. We got another one of these blocks with the Door of Time pattern on them, so let's play the song and get it out of the way. There we go. Alright, and let's continue on through. And now this is kind of an interesting area. It's kind of like this big sort of open courtyard. It's actually quite neat. I mean, it's somewhat bright in here. I mean, you got open sky. I think that's pretty cool. Also got a giant Deku Baba here, but easily taken care of. There's also an Octorok over here. You probably want to take care of the guys around this place just to make it easier to get around. There we go. Alright, and now we want to head over to this ivy on the right. There's a couple of Skullwalchulas hanging around here, so make sure to take them out with the hook shot. Okay, that was kind of weird. Let's do it manually, I suppose. I'm surprised I didn't take damage there. I thought for sure I hit him, but I don't know. Yeah, and this one up there you can't really do anything about, so when you're climbing up you kind of just want to stick over to the right side in the hopes that he doesn't see you, because we're aiming for an alcove over here on the far right, so pretty much just make a mad dash for it. You can't climb any faster, but see, I mean, usually it's alright, he doesn't see you. Let's go through this door. We've got another blue bubble in our way. Again, Deku Nuts work well. And when we kill him, the door opens, and we're also going to get a chest, which is always good. It's facing, I think it's facing the wrong way. You know, you want to open it from here, but no, you have to go around. I don't know. That's weird to me, but maybe that's just me. I have no idea. Either way, when we open the chest, we find that it contains the dungeon map. See, I told you we'd be fixing that soon. Alright, it really doesn't help us too much without the compass, I guess, but either way, it's still nice to have that little box down there. I don't know. Alright. No, I think I just went backwards. Don't want to do that. I always do that. I can never remember which door I came in from. Yeah, this is where we want to be. We've got a regular Deku Baba here. This seems so small in comparison to what we've been seeing, but, well, whatever. There's a Skullwatchula over there, but you really don't have to deal with them because this thing right here is actually a hookshot target. We can pull ourselves up like that. And there's a switch we can press. Alright, as you can see, that has drained the water from the well, so that's definitely where we're going to be going next. Oh man, try not to get hit there. That was kind of reckless, but oh well, whatever. It wouldn't have done much damage if I got hit anyway. So yeah, now we can come over to the well, and we can either climb down the ladder or just drop. It really doesn't make a difference. And now we can come through here. Of course, we wouldn't be able to do this, you know, while it was still filled with water, because we couldn't dive that far down, but... and also, we wouldn't be able to get this chest on here at the end, which is actually somewhat important. It's also facing a weird direction. I think that should be facing, like, towards where the camera was there. I don't know. There's something about it. I just feel like it should be facing that direction. Alright, so let's climb up, and we're now kind of on the other half of the courtyard area. There's kind of, it's really hard to sort of explain the layout, so I guess we should just put a visual up here. As you can see everything kind of circles around the center area. You know, I mean, there's a big path that just goes around in a circle, so that's kind of what we're going to be doing. But alright, what do we need to do once we get here? Let's just jump on down, I suppose. Whoa. Oh, yeah, see, there's the Octorok's getting me. I told you, sometimes you have to pay a little bit of attention to the enemies in here, so let's go ahead and take this guy out. Okay, so there's not really a whole lot we need to be doing over here in this courtyard. As you can see, I think this is actually where we just were before. I can never be sure. I always get the two of them confused, but either way, let's head on back. I believe we need to just be going back to the main central room here. And now that we're here, we can just kind of continue around the circle some more. Head over here, and you can see there's a locked door. It's going to use finally one of our small keys. We picked up 3 of them. But... alright, got a big Skulltula. Get out of here. Yeah, let's see if he drops a heart. Nope. Okay. Alright, what do we got in here? Ah, yes, this room. This is one of the bigger rooms of the temple. Pretty much its largest puzzle resides in here, I suppose, even though it's really not that complicated, but we'll see, of course. So let's climb up these ladders and make our way up. We're pretty much going to be just finding ways to keep going up in this room. As we go around, Navi's going to point out that there are arrows painted on the floor, and indeed, she is right. So if we look over here, we can see there's a giant block, and pretty much the arrows tell us where we need to push the thing. As you can see, we're wanting to get it here so we can climb up to that place up there. So what we're going to have to do is not use a Deku Nut, but come all the way around and push it from the back here. And yeah, it takes a little while to push, so it may just be sitting here for a little bit. As you can see, there is a ladder on the right, but we're going to actually ignore that for the time being and just keep pushing it. We want to push it until we can just slip through that little gap there, then push it back one more, and now we can continue going on down the hallway here. And here we're just going to keep pushing it until we can hear it hit a wall. There it is. Okay, and let's see. Now I think we just need to come back around and push it from this direction. So yeah, as you can see, it is kind of like a block puzzle, you know, but it's not really that complicated if you think about it for a second. So as you can see, we push it in there, and we can now climb up it if we want, but I'm actually going to go and take this ladder up, because this is how we're going to have to push the next block on the next level. So we head around, I don't remember, I think it's to the right, and to the right again. Yep, there we go, and there's the next block we have to push. So we just keep pushing this one until it hits a wall. There it is. And now we need to, I think we're going to have to take the long way around to push it the next direction. We're going to have to come back down and then actually climb up the last block we pushed. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it does get a little bit complicated, but shouldn't be too hard to figure out. Then we could just keep pushing it, and I think we'll have to make one more sort of circle around to push it in the other direction, but I don't really remember. Oh, maybe not. Alright, so let's climb up, and now we're pretty much done. There were just the 2 blocks, so we're just heading on up. There's a couple ladders, or just a ladder. I don't know if there's another one up here or not. Alright, so now this is a big open room. We got a couple blue bubbles around. It might be a good idea to take them out so you can get sort of a further examination of this room and without them bothering you. Oh, that was good. So yeah, basically there's just the one door. Pick up the Deku Nut refill, that'd be nice. As you can see, there's kind of like an eye switch above it. We saw one of those when we were a kid. We might have seen a couple, I don't remember. But we can't do anything with it at the moment, so for now we're just going to need to unlock the door. And yeah, this is an awesome hallway. Look at that, that's so cool. As we walk down, of course, Navi's going to point out the obvious. This corridor is all twisted. No, really. So yeah, we kind of go along it, and that's kind of neat. The gravity seems like that would be kind of off too, you know? But, oh well, whatever. I'm not going to try to figure it out. Then again, as we go in here, Navi's going to say to watch for the shadows of monsters that hang from the ceiling, and that's basically introducing us to wall masters. I'm going to just get moving so we don't have to see them for the time being. But basically, if you see a shadow underneath you, run around like crazy, because some big hand's going to come down from the ceiling and take you back to the entrance of the dungeon if you get hit by it. So, yeah, you definitely don't want that. As you can see, there was a painting of the Poe here. If we get close to it, it kind of runs off. Can't really do anything with it at the moment either, but we will very soon. So for now, let's just continue on down the door. As you can see, there's a torch here that's just like the one at the beginning room. This is the same torch we saw at the entrance to the temple, isn't it? Sure is. Alright, so as we go through here, we've got another event room. As you can see, there's a Stalfos with a big hole in the middle, and he can somehow levitate over it. I never was able to figure that out. I guess it would just be too easy if you could knock him off the platform that way, but either way, it's just kind of weird the way they do it. I don't know. Alright, you gonna jump attack? Gotcha. So when we kill him, the floor comes down. And what do you know? 2 more up here. Awesome. The good thing about these Stalfos is that if you're targeting one of them and fighting one of them, they kind of have like, it almost seems like a code of honor or something. Because when you're fighting the other one pretty much just strafes around back there and doesn't do anything. There we go. Sorry, this one's giving me a little problems here. They also do a lot of damage if they hit you. So, might want to avoid that if possible. Alright, dude, come on. Jump attack. You know you want to. If you stay away from them, you can usually lure them into the jump attack, and that makes them vulnerable for quite a while. The other strategy to kind of doing this is to pretty much just get right next to them and stab like crazy. A lot of times if you do that, you can go like underneath their shield, like this. And that'll work if you can get in position. That can be kind of hard to set up, but if you can, that is a very quick and pretty easy way of defeating them. So pretty much just take your pick of which way to do it. But once we defeat them, obviously a chest appears, and we're going to get something very important. Ah, the fairy bow. On the select item subscreen, you can set it to blah blah or blah. Use blah to take it out and hold it. As you hold blah, you can aim with blah. Release blah to let fly with an arrow. Cool. So yeah, that's basically our projectile as Adult Link. Obviously, since we can't use the slingshot anymore, it had to be replaced with something. And you might have also seen that they were selling arrows back at the Kokiri Forest shop, so kind of a little bit of foreshadowing, I guess. Either way, we've got 2 different doors that we can check out. I'm just going to go back this way for now. We will be heading the other way. This is the door we came in from originally, but... yeah, you know what, actually, I think I'm going to go the other way because we're going to get the compass in here. So, it's nice to have it so we don't just have a blank map hanging around. But we're also going to get to take care of our first Poe while we're here. So let's go ahead and switch over to the arrows. Obviously, we're going to need it. No, I don't want it on that. That's like the worst button to equip it to. There we go. Alright, so yeah, we're going to have to shoot arrows basically at the painting that the Poe is in. What I like to do is stand here at this one so we can see these 2. If you get too close, like you saw before, it'll kind of run away and you'll have to find it again. If you stand here, it'll pretty much always just go to the other one after that, and you can just, you know, do this really quickly without having to worry. Shoot the final one, and as you can see, the Poe comes out. And it's going to go through the floor and in here, and now we're going to have to defeat it. Basically, as you can see, I mean, obviously you're not going to be able to hit it while it's invisible. Now, what is this one called? They all have names. This is Beth. I don't know how Navi knows that, but whatever. Then when it becomes visible again, I like to do a jump attack. You can use arrows and just sort of keep your distance this whole fight, but it's really not that big of a deal. It should appear right after that, and then just do this again. I think it requires 3 jump attacks, so it won't take too long. It's really bad if they go in the wall, though, so it's probably a good idea to draw them out if you can. There we go. So once we defeat the blue Poe, as you can see, it goes. The light goes to the torch there, and it's also going to go back up in the main room. We don't have to take it there ourselves or anything. So basically, the goal is just to defeat all 4 of them. But then once you defeat Beth here, we're going to get, like I said, the compass, so that's good. We can continue on up, but it turns out we're going to need some keys to keep going up there, so we're going to just head back for the time being, and head back into this room. And if you also remember, the red Poe sister was in here, so we're going to get to do that again. Alright, so let's just do the same strategy. Up here first. Oh, how did that miss? How do you miss a painting that's like that big? Come on. Alright, and then finally this one. The red one kind of has a pointy nose. I kind of like it. Alright, this one is Joel. That's an interesting name. Alright, so yeah, just pretty much repeat the same process. They all really just do the same thing, so no need to worry about it. Just make sure you get that attack in if you're going for the jump attacks pretty soon after they become visible again. Otherwise, they'll do the attack and then turn invisible again. So the attack window, I mean, it's pretty large, but you do want to make sure you get it in fairly quickly. And there we go. So that takes care of the red Poe sister, and she's going to drop a little chest for us. I think this is just a bundle of arrows. Oh no, that's a key. Oh wow, good. Okay, well that helps out for sure. Alright, so yeah, now we're going to head on back. And also, now that we have the bow and arrow, we can do something about that little silver eye switch that you might have seen before, and that I did definitely point out, so hopefully you saw it before. So let's just jump on back through here and go down this twisted hallway again. I still think that's really cool. I always liked that when I was a kid. But I still do, I suppose. So, alright, now I'm going to get the nuts back out, just in case they decide to bug me. I think if I could just shoot this and be on the way, they shouldn't, but yeah, there we go. So we shoot the eye switch, and as you can see, that's going to untwist the hallway, so that's some pretty good stuff, and now that'll allow us to sort of access what was on the floor before. I don't know, I'm not sure which way it turned, but definitely some new stuff. Here we've got a big fancy chest. I'm going to wait around. As you can see, that big circular shadows underneath me. That means a wall master's coming down. Turn around, Deku Nut will stun it, and that'll give you plenty of time to do a jump attack and kill it. These guys usually drop a good amount of money, as you can see. That's nothing to scoff at. And once you defeat it once, it won't bug you again while you're here. So let's open up this really flashy treasure chest. And this is the boss key. Remember I mentioned at the very beginning we're going to need a key to get into the boss's lair? Well, that's it. You'd think if they were really trying to keep you out, they wouldn't hide it in something that looks like that. I mean, geez. I keep doing that. Oh, anyway. Okay, so now I believe we need to be heading on through this gap in the floor, and that's going to take us to this little room here. Basically, this is just the defeat all enemies type of room. So if I can get this one real quick. Nope. You can also use the hook shot to stun them if you want, but sometimes you can't really hit them very well while they're bouncing around, so I find it's easiest to just hit the button and throw a Deku Nut, you know?